Marvel vs. Capcom is freaking back! A new package including all the original Marvel vs. Capcom fighting games all the way up to Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which if you don't know is my favorite video game of all time. I'm so stoked for this, man. This is like the first video game I ever played. It's filled with bright colors, excellent memorable music, and just godlike moments from the game itself to the competitive scene. Like, it's godlike.
Justin Wong! Oh my god!
I love this game and this franchise as a whole with every fiber of my being. I actually own it as an arcade cabinet and on my Xbox 360 in a classic package as well. However, neither of these versions came with Marvel vs. Capcom 2. This is the first package that's ever going to come with Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Rejoice, everybody! But with the announcement of Marvel vs. Capcom's return, I thought, why not make a video on everybody's favorite spider hero and how he acts in that universe? You know that's its own universe, right? 30847? Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom is its own numbered universe. Let's talk about Spider-Man's story in the Marvel vs. Capcom universe, okay? So the earlier games come with significantly less story moments than the later ones, right? In the later games, you get intro dialogue. There's like a lot more to uncover. Even MvCI has a story mode. Like, damn. Story mode isn't really that good. Graphically, it's pretty bad. But hey, it's still a story mode and it counts. It's a part of the franchise. Starting from the very top, though, Spider-Man made his first appearance in Marvel Superheroes, and he hasn't missed a game since. In Marvel Superheroes, we learn in Spider-Man's ending after beating the entire game that Peter and MJ are dating. Nice. And in this universe, MJ is pregnant. So the happy couple we all know and love is having a baby in universe. Ah! Congrats to the homie, man deserves it after defeating Thanos and saving the world. This game came out maybe like exactly a year after MJ announced her pregnancy in the comics. The game must have pumped out this storyline fast so they can match up with the comics. Like, come on, that's pretty cool, guys. The next game in the series is Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. This game has some minor details we can add into the story. When you beat the game with Spider-Man, Spidey takes a picture with his partner he worked with. He then races home to be with Mary Jane. Spider-Man and Mary Jane talk to each other about how they love each other so much and they could never forget each other. Take notes, higher up at Marvel, please take notes. This game does have some really small details I find cool, okay? Like, for starters, Spider-Man does in fact wear the armored suit from Web of Spider-Man number 100. This is like one of my favorite designs ever, and in-game it actually changes gameplay. It's not like an aesthetic suit you'll see like in other games. This is like a whole brand new Spider-Man armor character. It's fucking sick. How often does Spider-Man give like an alternate version in these kind of games? Literally like never. So to have one in this game that's a reference to a godlike suit that really doesn't get enough love already is really freaking cool. When you beat the game as Armored Spider-Man, it doesn't even give you a story. It's just like, congrats. LOL, like, come on. Lame. The Saturn version has a survival mode, and it hints as to who the actual teammates would be in like this Marvel vs. Capcom setting. Guess who Spider-Man's teammate is? Hint, it's not anyone from Capcom actually, it's actually the Hulk. So in universe, it's reasonable to assume that Hulk and Spider-Man are like really good friends. They team up together. I like this a lot because in the 616 universe, Spider-Man and Hulk are really great friends and they have some really cool moments together. It's dope to see Spider-Man and Hulk are cool friends across universes. The next game we have Marvel vs. Capcom 1. The ending of this game is kind of like a nothing burger. Spider-Man just says to his partner after he beat the game how the city is going to hear about this one, and he talks about how J. Jonah Jameson is going to make him out to be a villain, but he still needs to get pictures for that money, and that's really it. Pretty accurate, but it's like, I don't know, I was hoping to get more story beats. When you beat the game as Spider-Man and Venom, it at least looks comic accurate. It feels like Maximum Carnage just wrapped up, and Venom's like, you're not so bad, Spider-Man, let's go beat up and kill some criminals, and Spider-Man's just like, what am I going to do with this guy? It's pretty funny. Also, Red Venom is in this game as like a secret character, and it's just supposed to be Carnage, which is like cool, I guess. I would rather have Carnage in the game, but then we're going to pay homage to the Carnage as a character. It's still great, you know? Y'all know me, I love Carnage, he's my favorite villain, so anything Carnage related, I'm going to be happy about. This Red Venom character is filled with infinites, and he's broken, like he's like the best character in the game, so just like Carnage, he's busted. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is the next game up, and for all of its glory, it really has like no story mode. Outside of the art books, we don't know much. I'm a firm believer, though, that Morgan and Spider-Man are homies, and Spider-Man and Sakura. But we're going to just move to Marvel 3, okay? Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Here we uncover a boatload of stuff about this universe's Spider-Man, okay? Before we were in the dark about a lot of things, but with the intro and outro dialogue we get a much better picture. Let's start with Spider-Man's ending. We know in this universe, Robbie Robertson exists. Yeah, he's right there. Look at him. Look at him in all of his glory. J. Jonah Jameson's chastising Peter as per usual. And he even says that Spider-Man was in cahoots with Galactus. Galactus! Utterly absurd, J. Jonah Jameson. Come on. The intro dialogue reveals a lot of stuff, okay, people? We're gonna just rip the crazy band-aid off right away and talk about it. When you beat Firebrand as Spider-Man, he says, "You look like that guy who ruined my marriage."
You know, you sort of look like the guy who ruined my marriage.
This is an insane moment. In the comics, one more day happens and no one remembers the deal itself. Spider-Man remembering the deal means that he most likely kicked Mephisto's ass for making the deal in the first place and he got his marriage back. 616 Spider-Man, I need you to meet this man and talk to him about how he did it. We need to get to the bottom of it so you can no longer have to deal with the repercussions of that awful event. Continuing, if you beat Felicia playing as Spider-Man, Spider-Man's going to reference Black Cat, so we all know that she exists in this universe. Spider-Man also references Great Responsibility when you beat Albert Wesker, so we know he also probably lost his Uncle Ben too.
You've got great power, Albert, but you're not very responsible with it.
The last reference he makes is after you beat Super Skrull, he'll reference the Skrull invasion, so I guess this universe's Spider-Man had to deal with that as well. Spider-Man and Frank West are photographer counterparts as well in this game. It's really cool to see their rivalry between each other, even if Spider-Man would dog walk this man across the earth. This game probably gives us the best picture of Spider-Man in this universe and a window into his world. Like, we just learned so much stuff. Up until this point, we can assume a few things about this universe of Spider-Man, right? Based on what we've already said, he and MJ are together and they're married with a baby. He has actually donned the armored suit. He still works for the Bugle. He's great friends with Hulk. He's friends with Morgan and Sakura as well. Felicia's Black Cat exists in this world, and Spider-Man has helped fight off a Skrull invasion. He's fought Thanos and saved the world. He fought Apocalypse and saved the world. He stopped Galactus from destroying the Earth, and he joined Ruby and the rest of the heroes and villains to stop Abyss from doing the same. This dude is kind of a Giga Chad. And then Dan Slott got his hands on the character. Ugh. If you don't know Dan Slott, he's a Spider-Man writer who seems to hate Spider-Man. He's got a hate boner for the character. Why does a character who hates Spider-Man write Spider-Man? I don't know. I don't work at Marvel. I wouldn't make this decision though. The dude's a hack. He made the first comic Spider-Verse event, and in it features Marvel vs. Capcom Spider-Man. Y'all don't know how hyped I was to see this. Marvel vs. Capcom Spider-Man in a comic book. You gotta be kidding me. This should be a slam dunk. But Dan Slott had other plans. He said, I'm gonna miss the layup. Instead of us seeing the Spider-Man we all fell in love with go crazy, he fights Moron, and he literally gets one shot and loses. First off, there's no move in any of these games in the entire series that's gonna one-shot a character. So Morlun one-shot in this Spider-Man? Stupid.
Loser!
To make matters worse, neckbeard Dan Slott takes every opportunity he can to try and say that the Marvel vs. Capcom Spider-Man died. And that the new one that appears is a different one. Dumbass. Spider-Man dies whenever he loses, okay? You can't just say that the one you killed off is permanently dead, but all the ones that we had die in game are still back. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any fucking sense. You realize how fucking stupid and ludicrous that sounds, right? Such an absurd statement to make by a man who just wants to leave a piece of himself across every single media he touches. Bro, please go back to writing Fantastic Four and She-Hulk. I'm begging you. I don't read that stuff. I don't play those games, so I don't have to deal with you anymore. Please get away from Spider-Man. Contrary to the neckbeard's belief we just talked about, Spider-Man is alive and he returns in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which has a full fleshed out story mode even if it doesn't look good at all. Spider-Man's pretty cool throughout the story. He gets his symbiote suit again for a bit. He helps the team stop the world from ending. You know, that's what he does. He's got some funny moments with a lot of the cast in the game as well, but overall he just doesn't do enough. How often do we get full-fledged cutscenes in Marvel vs. Capcom and it's used to just show bland dialogue and terrible sprites? Spider-Man's model also looks weird as hell. Where is his neck? The best thing about MvCI Spider-Man is it proves that he didn't die at the hands of Morlun and Slott is just talking out of his ass like usual. Marvel vs. Capcom Spider-Man has had an eventful life, people. He stopped several world-ending events. Heck, even universe-ending events. He fought the devil for his wife. He has his wife back and a kid. He's got friends and rivals from other universes. He's wielded the Mind Stone. He wore multiple suits. His biggest hater even joined him in the universe. This Spider-Man could be the greatest Spider-Man of all time, people. I love Marvel vs. Capcom Spider-Man. Dunk out. Peace.